So, we're here, gathered round once again. Mob debates, here to discuss the big 6 teams' transfer windows for the summer. And we're going to actually pick from the table because we couldn't decide an order. So we're just going to pick randomly. And then as soon as we pick a club, we'll discuss that club's transfer business. Ins, outs, loans, permanent deals.
Outside of the big 6, was there anything worth discussing?
There's a couple. Some
West Ham.
Some people's heads got slapped. Some people's transfers were actually quite good. Sunderland, but yeah.
Sunderland done a lot.
Yeah.
They've done a lot, yeah.
Sunderland.
Whether it was good or not,
We'll find out, yeah. We'll find
When
out.
you say heads got slapped, are you referring to...
Bro, you know who exactly I'm referring to. Heads got slapped, bro.
Well-
tell them, talk to us nice next time.
I'm speaking from someone whose head also got slapped
Slapped
viciously as well. So
Yeah, but you also slapped some heads.
I slapped some heads too. Yeah.
Much
So speaking, why don't you pick the first one? Let's get into the first club, man.
let's
Let's
see.
see. What are we dealing with here?
Easy, man. Easy.
Man United.
Manchester United.
No, it's not Champions League draw, right?
Manchester United.
Just say it's Man United and keep it moving.
Speaking of slapped census last season, bro.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the
Incredibly
window,
in the
though, I
final as
mean, I know we're 3 games in, but we have to forget the first 3 games when we're doing this. Like, we can't, because Frimpong's injured now, so when we move on to Liverpool, we can't really take that into account in terms of the signing. So with Man United, when we came into the season, and Mbomo, Cunha, Sesko, 200 million in attack for a team that finished 15th in the league was so poor. It was a decent enough window. The only problem is they didn't address multiple areas.
I was going to say, if you're
That's the
spending,
cons of the window.
I was going to say, if you're going to spend 200 million, which is a hefty amount, yeah, and you know you got 3 areas of the pitch pretty much that all need improving. Okay, allow the defence, because Man United think that the defence is okay in terms of fullback area and centre-backs. I don't think it is, but they're happy with it, yeah, Euro and whatnot. The midfield was the one. So to spend all that 200 million, I don't think it's clever, in my opinion.
They signed the goalkeeper, Le Mans.
Yeah, they did. They did, but we need, again, it's one of them ones where we need to wait and see what he's on.
Yeah.
So obviously, it actually looks like they've gone out of their way to scout that one rather than just go off names and reputation. So we need to actually give it time and see whether the scouting will actually pay dividends. But
Because they spoke to Martinez and...
they did.
Yeah.
He was ready.
But he was in bad form towards the back end of last season anyway. So
I reckon the old United, but we don't know if this is the old United. Old United would 100% bought Martinez, big name, or Donnarumma.
He's not in good
No
form.
scouting, no nothing, just whatever's on the market.
Yeah.
I just feel like when you get Cunha and Mbeumo, both of those players are by far and away, like we know them, they're really good players in the Premier League. But did they need to get 2 twin 10 players? And that's why I look at it. But look at Bruno Fernandes's position in this team now. It doesn't make
sense. A good point. It's unbalanced now.
It's unbalanced. He should never be playing in the pivot.
But so then when you say 2 twin 10s, okay, yes, they probably didn't need 2 twin 10s, but they needed those 2 players.
And Mbeumo's not a 10 though.
But in their system, he's talking about in their system.
But
they needed those 2 players. I didn't think they needed Sesko, personally. And we had this discussion on the Big 6. I didn't really think it made sense committing those funds on Sesko. You go for a cheaper option, or you put the money into the midfield, because with no European football, let alone Champions League, no European football, they can afford to play barring any injuries, they can afford to play the same team most weeks.
I'm with him.
So they could have put Bruno in his natural position, which obviously fits the 10. He's not a CM. He's not a striker. He's not going to play wing back, is he? You can only put him in one of the 10 slots. So if he played in the 10, you could have Cunha up top, you could have Mbeumo off the right, and that's a strong attack. That's actually one of the stronger.
How much did they get rinsed for in the end with Sesko?
how much what?
How much did they get rinsed?
I think just under 70 million quid or something like that.
You're looking a midfielder of the caliber. I'm not saying they would have got Baleba, but of the caliber of Baleba, you need that in midfield, because spending £200 million in attack, I'm absolutely with you.
Yeah,
absolutely with you.
And that's the thing. It's like when you actually look at the names outside of the goalkeeper, because we need to give it time. And Sesko's like, he's a known quantity, but he's still an unknown quantity. Like, you need to see whether he's legit in this league. But like in Mbeumo and Cunha, we've seen the work that they've mashed. This is not even just a season. The last 2 seasons, they've mashed serious work. And you're already seeing signs, in the early games they've played. Like, these guys look like they're going to give Man United something there. But for me, that basically lifted your attack already to a point that it wasn't at last season. did you really need to then go and reinforce a position that you've improved significantly in the same window instead of...
And then you've got Mount, who cost 60+ million. You've got Amad Diallo, who could have maybe played there, who's obviously meant to be the star. So I feel like they've just gone very attack heavy.
I don't think it's been smart.
Well,
Good players.
they're good players, but it's
100% very good players, in fact. I will put it this way, I will take both. This is Liverpool, top of the league, champions, spent X amount. I would have taken Cunha and Mbeumo if they were available.
Do you think they needed a defender?
Yes.
Defender.
Yeah, definitely. They needed a midfielder and defender.
Yeah.
They did everything. That's why it's whatever they do, they're going to be leaving something like. That's the problem with it. So they've went heavy in attack. Maybe they've got a process to trust. You see how Arteta built the defence and then the midfield and then the attack.
They're working backwards.
Maybe he's done the attack and then they're just going to have to.
I think it's one of those cases where their blanket is short, They try to, when you try to cover the feet and the head in the middle,
Can't do all of it.
They've just covered their heads and left the feet.
So what are we ranking this?
What did they sell? Did they sell Anthony?
So Anthony left,
They sold
20,
well.
so it was 20 million pounds.
We have to talk about their
plus a
outgoings.
50%
What else
sell-on
was there?
clause.
Sancho went to Villa.
Garnacho.
Sancho was loan.
Garnacho 40
was
million.
40 mil.
Yeah.
So they've actually made what? They've made just over 60 million in sales.
Trying to think
Which
what
is
else went.
poor, really.
Lindelof went on a
It's
free.
poor, but then when you look at the fact that two of the sales they made was from their bomb squad.
Yeah,
What did they call them? The five.
Yeah, the five. And then Malacia.
Yeah, exactly. So
The five.
so if you think of the five, one got shipped out on loan to Barcelona, one got sold to Real Betis permanently with a 50% sell-on, one got loaned to Villa, and then the other got sold to Chelsea. So they've actually got rid of 4 out of the 5. So that's not that bad. That's actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
I think it's been a good window for them.
So what would you rank it out of 10?
Out of 10, I'd probably give it a 7.
Okay.
I'm not giving it a 7.
I'm not giving it a
6. I think it's a 6 out of 10 max, because I still feel like even though they did get some good outgoings, there are still players there that are stealing a living.
100%.
That should have been sold.
I don't think they sold well enough. And no midfielder is definitely 6 max.
Did they get rid of Højlund actually? Did that actually go through?
He went on permanent to Napoli.
How much?
Not
was
lots, not lots. I'm
Wasn't
pretty
it
sure that was
loan
like
to
20 something
obligation?
million.
Wasn't it loan?
I'm sure that was permanent. I'm sure that was permanent.
Can we get a fact check?
A VAR.
We ain't done homework on that.
That's good.
43. That's all things
So we've just
considered.
heard that, right? Let me just repeat that. So
43 million all in.
yeah, so 43 million all in obligation to buy for Napoli for Højlund.
Sources have revealed.
Sources have revealed. Skull Thuggeries has revealed.
I'm giving it a 7. I think
Yeah,
that's-
now that I've heard that,
I'm bumping that
it
to
up.
6.5, because to get over 40 million after the season he just dropped, that's good
I think
work.
he's going to score goals. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm giving it a
It's
7.
Sicily, innit?
Let's go with another team,
Alright,
Tobes.
go on, Tobes.
Let's pick another team. I'm going 7.
That's mad if you
Let's
don't
go,
give it a
let's
7.
go.
United fans.
Champions League reveal again. Arsenal.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Asna. Boy, talk to me. Turkish.
One of our best windows. I can't lie
Remind
to
us
you.
fully.
What fully are those players in? We sent 8 players, so you have to give me a minute.
8.
Eze, Yokore, Zubamendi, Madueke, Kepa, Norgard, Nkapie, Mosquera. 8 players in.
Big.
That's
Not many outgoings in terms of sales, but
Reece Nelson.
Nelson
left.
went, Zinchenko went on loan.
Yeah, loan. Lukonga went for 10 mil. Tavares went for 4 mil. That's it.
Fabio Vieira, did you not get that
Yes, he just
through
got
in the end?
released.
I don't even know what happened to Vieira, you know?
I didn't hear nothing about him.
Because he was meant to go
Yeah.
to wasn't it Germany he was meant to go to?
Yeah,
He
on
might
loan
still
might
end
have
up in
been.
Turkey or Saudi
Yeah.
Arabia or something.
Can we get another?
No, I don't think we need Vieira.
We don't need it for that.
Yeah, it ain't that deep.
He should still be on
Fabio
the move,
Vieira.
I assume.
Yeah.
We've got enough of that profile in the side. But listen, incomings first. If I had to rate incomings alone, it'd probably be like a 9 out of 10, if I'm honest. Incomings alone. 8 new players in, addressed depth, addressed the profiles we needed. But I'd lean more towards an 8.5 actually, because Madueke comes to mind. And really, I think being a bit more ruthless in the market with the outgoings department, we could have pushed it up to a 10, but we didn't. So incomings wise, Mosquera looks good. Kepa listen, I don't see how he looks because I expect Raya to be fit for the majority of the season. Carabao Cup, actually, whatever. You put him in goal for that. Norgard, again, depth, backup. Don't expect to see him much, hopefully, ideally. But we're one injury away from that, so that one's a bit... we'll see how that one goes. Gyökeres, listen, until... I always said, bid for Isak, unsettle. You know, we've seen teams do it before. Arsenal have never done such a thing, right? If that was batted away with, they've made Champions League, he's not going to leave, yeah? So Gyökeres was the best available, in my opinion, at that time, right? So we got Gyökeres in, that's all good, in my opinion. Even though Isak became available after, I still would have taken a winger and a striker in place of just 130 on Isak. It's just the winger we got wrong, in my opinion. So it circles back around to Madueke there, because if it was Gyökeres and Rodrigo, that's different. I'm taking that even now. If you say ahead of Isak, I'm taking that.
You're taking Rodrigo and Isak over... Rodrigo and Gyökeres over Isak. Interesting.
I still take that now.
No. How about Isak and Madueke and Rodrigo and Gyökeres? Because that would have been the option, right? You still would have got another winger.
Nah.
Cheap, like Madueke and Isak.
Yeah, Madueke is the winger we got.
Gyökeres and how much was Gyökeres?
62 mil,
60. How much was Rodrigo going for? 80? 100.
That's euros.
Yeah, euros, man.
So you get my point. And how much was Madueke?
52.
So there you go. So the combined fees for Rodrigo and Gyökeres would have been similar to Madueke and Isak.
What can't be neglected as men, which is the majority of you watching this video, is our mental health. This video is in paid partnership with Betterhelp. Everyone thinks that being a content creator automatically comes with having thick skin, but putting yourself and your opinions out on such a public forum takes its toll mentally. From trying to appease your following to juggling personal matters, it's a never-ending battle to balance day-to-day life and relationships against the pressures of delivering regular content. You get told by so many to man up and deal with it, without much thought being given as to how best to deal with it. That's until I was told how good therapy can be to help with all of this. A therapist will listen, ask questions, and help you see things from new perspectives. They can help give you advice and new techniques to make positive changes in your life. BetterHelp is the paid partner of this video, and they're on a mission to make starting therapy easier. Fill out this questionnaire and you will match with a therapist as soon as possible. Easily switch therapists anytime at no extra cost if it's not the right fit. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform you can trust. Click the link in the description or go to www.betterhelp.com/thebig6 and get 10% off your first month of therapy.
So it would have been an option of Madueke and Isak or Gyökeres and Rodrigo.
Isak just blows everything out of the water. I don't know about Arsenal signing.
But yeah, Zubimendi, top signing. So overall, I'm happy. Eze, towards the end of it,
I think that was
a nice,
creme de la creme
finish to the window. Obviously, you finished it in a more emphatic fashion, but we'll get on to Liverpool later. But incomings wise, 8, 9 out of 10. Outgoings poor.
It's always poor for you, though.
It's always poor, but
why is still?
I mean, it's just always, I don't know, man. It's just internal. I don't know what's going on, but we can't sell well. These men were going to get 22 mil for Tyreek George. We can't get 10 for Reece Nelson.
That's crazy.
Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So things don't make sense there. So outgoings wise, I'd probably say 1, 2 out of 10.
Makes sense, yeah.
Really, everything went to deadline day and we didn't really get anything. Lokonga 10 mil. I'm surprised. I don't even believe myself when I say we got 10 mil for him. And that's mad because 10 mil was nothing in this market. So outgoings 1, 2. Contracts we done well. Saliba and Saka still 2 years.
Yeah.
But Gabriel, Lewis Skelly and Ranieri, nice contracts. So all in 7.5 for me.
7.5?
7.5. I thought you'd go higher.
Yeah.
Because you got guaranteed starter in Gyökeres. What looks like a guaranteed starter in Eze, depending on your manager's setup. If he's playing him off the left. You got guaranteed starter in Zubimendi. And then with Hincapié as well, you've got potentially a starting caliber player at left back. Because we all know Calafiori is good for a couple injuries a season. So for all intents and purposes, you signed 4 new starters, bro. 4.
And the backup for Saliba looks good.
Yeah,
Exactly.
he is. It does look good.
Looks proper. Yeah. I'd say that yours is a 9. Because I think the only thing that you're missing is just that star-studded left winger to put Eze in the 10 and take Martinelli
and that's where
Madueke and Trossard out of this team.
That star-studded winger comes with a Martinelli sale.
Yeah.
That makes it just shy of a 10 then.
I'm giving it.
You sell Martinelli for 50 mil and then you don't buy Madueke, you got 100 mil there, it goes to Rodrigo. The window's a 9, 9.5, 10 you're talking then.
I'm giving it 8.5 out of 10. And I would normally give it higher, but I do think just your use of funds on that Madueke deal, it didn't make sense to me. When you look at, I get it, he's going to be back up, but when you look at the plethora of players out there that are more talented than Madueke, that would have cost the same, if not less, that would be willing to go and compete for a spot in Arsenal. If you're trying to sell the project of going for a title, I feel like that's a poor use of funds.
It's gonna be.
I think it's a great use of funds.
I think
that has to dip it down for me. So yeah, 8.5.
Yeah, you say that in your rating for your team then.
Now, for me, literally, as Turkish was going through the outgoings, it's the only reason I'm not giving it 9.5 even. Like, I'm giving it a 9 because of the outgoings. I think they've improved like proper, like 4 first teamers, and then the squad and the players that they're replacing become squad players, substitutes. So the likes of Martinelli, Calafiori maybe. Look,
they're no longer guaranteed.
Again, Hincapié is a bad boy. That's a wicked signing. Mosquera, we saw him yesterday. Looked.
Lewis Skelly's still there as well.
Lewis Skelly's still there.
Calafiori's been our best player in the first.
Now I know Madueke split opinion, but good player, man, Premier League level player, and he's not a first teamer. He's your squad player.
He's not a bad player, but it's
Gyökeres, the jury's going to be out.
You could have done better.
Gyökeres, the jury's going to be out because of the players that were available and what.
No, but you can still rate the signing because the signing is a top striker in Europe.
And Nogard, unknown quantity in terms of how's he going to fit into this team. Zubimendi, class. Eze, class. Me, if I was an Arsenal fan, if I'm rating it neutrally, I think they've had a solid.
They've had a quality window.
That's a solid
quality window.
Just the
Backup centre backs for me are big.
Big. Massive.
Not even just the backup centre backs. Signing Eze is huge.
Yeah.
What that adds, a dimensional quality.
That changed the window for me. Dynamic for me.
Attack. Bruh, that's a fantastic signing.
If they managed to sell like he says, it would have been a 10.
Yeah. So that's for me.
It's a 7.5 leaning to 8 for me. It wasn't 8 at one stage. But there's a
7.5 is crazy.
The outgoing Saka Saliba contract, Trossard pay rise.
If you give United a 7 and you're giving
context though. They finished 15th. Each individual, we can't compare the. Otherwise, how can ours be a 9 then? What did you lot do? What's yours? 15 out of 10.
We're going to talk.
You get what I'm saying?
We're going to talk.
You have to take the context of each club, innit? Man United's in what their situation is, 7. For us, I'm going to say 8. Let's land at 8 with us, yeah? But,
all right.
But the things that we could have done better.
I'm just trying to help you, man. The comments are going to cook.
Trossard pay rise, Madueke signing,
8.
Martinelli still in the side. The outgoings.
But he becomes a peripheral squad player, which is what you wanted, though. But you don't want to.
But these are things that you have to rate the window.
Yeah, exactly.
You man talk about net spend all the time.
Which we'll get to, but Tobes, get another one. Let's see where we're going for the next one.
That's fine, man. You said 7, 8 then, all right, safe.
City.
Pep knows what he's doing. Got to trust Pep.
Is the Pep era over?
Fam, we were getting pelters in the WhatsApp chats. We're getting pelters.
Let me start with City.
They started like a house on fire.
They did, but then it just...
When they signed Donnarumma on deadline day, that's a big signing, whether we agree with it or not. They've signed 2 goalkeepers, Trafford as well. Edison went to Galatasaray, I believe.
What was the Donnarumma fee in the end?
26 mil, wasn't it? 26.
Was it 26 or 30? I thought I read 30.
That's cheap.
It is cheap.
Because he was like axed out, like get out.
He was out.
They signed a replacement, They signed a replacement. They brought in Reinders in midfield, Cherky, who's now out for 2 months, but obviously we just rate the sign.
Yeah, good price, 35 mil.
Can't go wrong. Cherky's one of those ones.
Out Nori.
I know.
That was a 6 signing.
Can't defend.
Jury's out though.
Offensively,
Defensively.
It's not good. With Man City, I'm not going to lie, I don't think they've had a strong window. Because I feel like, yes, they've reinforced in the attack, but you would say that even though the attack wasn't firing across all cylinders, that was probably the strongest part.
Have they reinforced with the signing of
Cherky? So they've added creativity with Cherky. They've added goals, legs, and a bit of creativity with Reinders as well. And then I think they've added an offensive threat from fullback in Ait Nouri. But I'm looking at that team and I'm like, I'm not looking, I can't really see any tempo setters that they've added into that team in the midfield. I can't see any staunch rearguard defenders that they've added. I can't see a right back.
Be honest with me, guys. You see their lineup.
Are you scared?
Are you scared?
Don't scared.
Don't scared. I'm not. I'm don't scared.
I'm scared of their attack when they're on job.
When they click.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you lot went there.
Haaland. I was scared of the attack. We were saying it before the game. I'm scared. Bob is talented. Savinho's talented. Haaland is
I'm doing context ones now.
I get
This is Man City.
I know you.
We're used to Man City.
If we compare it to like Riyad Mahrez, Kevin De Bruyne,
And by the way, Bob
Sterling.
still needs to prove himself.
Bob, since the injury, he's a different.
Also,
he's
even
not different
before
player,
the injury,
but the serious
he hadn't
injuries,
played
man,
loads of games.
Yeah, I rate Bob very highly. Foden's out of form.
I get what you're saying.
Grealish is gone. Silva's still there. The defenders, they haven't bought any physical new Diaz's, the new Stones. They haven't. Mosquera was on the market. Obviously, Nkapé was on the market. They didn't go in there.
He was in the market.
Yeah. I'm shocked by that one because Steve mentioned it. That would have been a very good signing for them. And I feel like with them, like everyone knows, he wants to play as high up the pitch as possible. You didn't buy players in the back line to help you maintain that pressure up the pitch. You didn't do that. And you're still playing that way. You can really see it in the first 3 games. There's not been a single game they've played where you can say that they've looked
strong, solid,
defensively.
resolute.
And they've had spells, like we spoke about Kuznov. I thought Kuznov played well against Brighton. I even thought John Stones played better than I've seen. But there's still, the weakness still remains. They're still easy to play through, in my opinion. And then when you do break through the midfield, the defense
that's more
is
tactic.
just...
That's all more like, obviously that's areas to address. But what did they do? Reinders, top midfielder in Serie A, Shirky, exciting prospect. Nori, if we know what that is offensively, what he brings, defensively, what he doesn't bring. But they're all good signings.
Yeah, they are.
Cumulatively, they've brought in 3 at least good players, if not better, with Reinders and Shirky.
Yeah. I think
you get what I'm saying?
I think Reinders is quality.
So that's what they did do.
So we have to look at replacing.
If they missed the Man City for me in where they are now, you probably, like, we would expected them to maybe pull a star out of the bag. Even though they've never been a team to really sign the stars, they've kind of moulded theirs over the whatever.
I do think that's a good point though, because it's like when you do think about the wingers, last season it was the same thing but it was Doku and Savinho, where it's like
Donnarumma as well.
Where it's like
yeah.
If they,
Are you worried about them in the title race? Because I know GRIZZ isn't. Because GRIZZ already
3 games in now, and I've seen them. I was worried about Pep. Do you get what I'm saying? Pep turning it around. From what I've seen, you know, it's not going to end well over there. So I'm not concerned right now.
Because really, let's be honest, Turkey, I know the price was low, but maybe that was.
I'm more worried about ourselves than.
Well, that's meant to be the X. That's meant to be the X factor,
yeah. Because
and he can bring X factor, but is he going to do the work?
There was images of him and Yamal standing next
to each other. Is he going to do the work of the
Nations
ball?
League?
Turkey's a baller.
Yeah, so that's the superstar.
Yeah, but he still has to. We say that's the superstar, but he still has to prove himself.
Of course, yeah.
But
everyone does though. Even every
Florian Wirtz has to prove himself. Yeah,
of course.
What did they sign there? A young prospect that's exciting for 35 mil. That's how I look at the window. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. But then
whatever happens after, you can rate it again in 2 years.
But then you ask yourself, I think they signed those players we mentioned. I think they're all quality players.
Yeah. 5,
right? But
4.
Donnarumma, Shirky, Reinders,
and Nuri.
That's very good signings.
Exactly,
but then that, what we said is you signed some very good quality players to reinforce a part of your team that, of course, needed a bit more creativity, but wasn't the worst part of your team, in my opinion.
Do you know what? Yeah.
The worst part is that soft tissue in the centre of the park, in the midfield, and the defence, that got destroyed last season. That got destroyed.
The spine, basically.
And you've not done enough to reinforce it. I'm sorry.
Do you know how mad it is that we're going through everyone's clubs and look at the volume of players that have come in at Arsenal. We're going to get to Chelsea. You have had Liverpool. Everybody's had high volume of players. We're still. You need more. You need more. City don't have a right back. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I agree with you. But that just goes to show how many rebuilds or how many past mistakes in previous transfer windows is going on, to the point where you sign 4 or 5 starters. Like, you didn't get enough. That's mad. Yeah.
But that's crazy. That's the prem for you. It's literally like, it's
crazy.
The teams around, especially the big 6, have retooled on a mad one. And we're saying this now. Man City have signed. They signed so many players this summer on top of the players they signed in January,
Yep.
and we're still sat here saying it's not enough because it isn't.
Yeah.
They've let players go. Players are picking up injuries. They sold Akanji, who was on his way down. Nathan Ake, injuries are piling up. Diaz and Stones, they can't play the way they used to play. They're rocking up with Mateus Nunes at right back or Rico Lewis at right back. 2 failed midfielders in their system.
Guys, Grealish,
Come on,
Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan.
Kyle Walker.
Last year or this year?
Gundogan went to Galatasaray.
Was it this year or last year?
This year.
So Gundogan,
Kyle Walker as well.
Kyle Walker, Kevin De Bruyne, Jack Grealish,
Edison.
and Edison. That's
Boy.
a lot. That's a lot of big players that have done, as Steve says, helped them win 4 in a row. And that's a whole heap of experience, whole heap of leadership skills, and no amount of lack of skill.
What are we rating the window?
I'm giving it a 6.
I was saying 6, but then when you just look at the players, you might say 7. Do you get what I'm saying?
I'm giving it a 6.
But I'll probably say 6 for the context of Man City. Them not being in for Verts or being ousted for Verts, that's a knock on the rating. And if they'd done Savinho and then Rodrigo came in, I think we're talking 8s, 9s all of a sudden.
I'm actually going to go 5. They didn't get a winger. I think their wingers are very unproven and inconsistent.
100%.
They don't really have a backup for Haaland. It can be Mamouche, but if Haaland gets injured, it's a problem.
Big problem.
I'm actually not too sure about what they're doing at goalkeeper. I know they've signed goalkeepers.
just gonna
I
add
don't
that.
get it.
Same.
I don't get it.
I don't
You can't be
rate-
buying. You can't be
And there's no
telling
right
Trafford.
back.
You can't be telling Trafford, who's had a brilliant career up till then, and saying, right, now is your big boy move to Man City, and then 1 month later, go and sign probably the biggest name keeper out there that's available in Donnarumma. That's called flaunting your cash and flexing your cash, but I don't know if it's smart thinking. And I'll put it on record, I'm not rating Donnarumma like most of you lot are rating.
No, it's not on record. I've said it on the Big 6. I don't think he's as good as everyone says
For
he
me,
is.
Out-Nori is a wing-back.
Yeah,
I've
he
said
is.
this before.
He
I
is.
don't think in the back 4, with the way that they have their defensive issues, I don't think that was necessarily the move.
He reminds
I
me
think he
of
should have
like,
gone to Man United.
He reminds me of like Pedro Porro. Like they're good footballers. They impact the game going forward, but defensively they need help.
I'm a massive Nori fan.
And I actually think he's worse
I
than
agree.
Pedro Porro. defensively.
Reinders, however you say his name, I think for me is the only certified top signing they've made. I think the others are risky. I'm just going to put it out there. I know all transfers are risky.
Yeah,
50% you was talking about success rate, but Reinders, I think, is the one that you can bank on. The others, Shirky, why was no one else in for him?
Yeah, I think Matisse's point actually does ring true, and it begs the question: why didn't I like Savinho, but
I thought it was Rodrigo nailed.
I like Savinho, but and to be honest, I know what you're trying to say. I don't think like Rodrigo. Obviously, he's playing for Real Madrid. I wouldn't even say Rodrigo is like he's the creme de la creme of like top wingers putting up mad numbers. But when you compare him to Savinho or
Doku,
he's scoring goals. He's creating goals.
So Savinho stayed in the end.
Yeah.
He stayed. I feel like Man City, the best versions of Man City, they've always had a winger who's putting up serious numbers. They got the creativity there, but it's the goals. They need the goals.
Output's not there. All right, let's get another team, Tobes. What are we saying?
So majority of us went about 6.
Yeah.
That's it.
I went 6 out of 10.
I went super harsh to Raul.
Chelsea.
Boy. How long you got?
Exactly, I was going to say.
Not long, to be honest.
Damn.
Fam, we'll be here all day if we had to reel off every single
Every
player.
player.
I'm not going to
In,
reel
out.
off every outgoing because we will be here all day.
Yeah, just name the ones above
but let me-
70 million.
Boy, let me get through the incoming. So obviously the attack has just been transformed. The defence hasn't been touched. We've got Delap, we've got João Pedro, we've got Buonanotte. Is that how you say his name, from Brighton?
Yeah.
We've got Gittins, we've got Garnacho. Those were the attackers that came in. The midfield is, I guess, Andre Santos is back, Esteval is in, but these guys were already at the club contractually, legally binding contracts and whatnot. So that's the team, incoming-wise. And that is, some may be good, some maybe not so good. And then the outgoings, we have had a record-breaking outgoing window in terms of, we actually made profit this window, which I couldn't
saw
believe that.
Negative, they're like negative
17 million.
17.6
Yeah. That's
300 million spent
sold.
expenses.
Yeah.
Sold.
Everybody left. Like the only people that didn't leave were Disassi, Sterling, and
The bomb squad.
just those two, I believe. And George Fulham deal collapsed. Everyone else left. And I think, listen, I've criticised us a lot, but just on outgoings alone, unbelievable, incredible. I've never seen that many players leave for good fees, and on top of that, sell-on clauses. It's just, it's mad. Yeah. It's mad.
The thing is, I'm gonna give Chelsea a 7 out of 10. And the reason I'm gonna give them a 7 out of 10 is because of what Matisse said. Like, the outgoings have been superb. Like, superb. Even for some players where I'm just like, this doesn't even make sense. Like, I'm seeing João Felix going for like more than what you paid for him.
Almost.
I'm seeing them getting close to full. Like, we've spoken about how Serie A clubs don't have bread. I'm seeing AC Milan put down close to £40 million.
Yeah, Jackson 70 for Bayern.
Jackson £70 million potential deal. Obviously, we don't know if Bayern are gonna meet that obligation, but still, like, they're getting serious change for their players. And when you look at what they brought in attack, they brought some talented players, with the exception of Garnacho, of course. But the reason why normally when a team have like reinforced their attack like this and made so much money, I'm saying this should be higher. This should be an 8 or 9.
Yeah.
But then when I look at what their fans are going for, what I think the club are trying to go for, which is the Premier League title, I'm sorry, they've fallen short for me. They've not equipped their team to sustain a serious challenge in comparison to Liverpool, Arsenal. I look at the defence, they lost Levi Colwill. They did not respond to that. That's, for me, that I get it. You've got a surplus of centre-backs, but you have to react. That's a priority position. I get that you signed Hato, who was meant to come in and cover left back. That's a good signing. But I feel like they needed more at centre-back. It's risky saying, okay, we're going to rely on Tosin, Achimpong, Chalobah, and Badiashile. Come on, that's not good enough.
Disasi stayed. Does that give you more confidence?
No, not a chance.
What did you say? 7?
Yeah, 7. And then obviously the midfield's patterned. And then if I'm looking at the attack, now João Pedro, he started off like a house on fire. That looks a good signing, and I'm not gonna lie, I question that signing not because he's a bad player, but it's like,
where's he gonna fit?
Did you need him? But then Delap and João Pedro, irrespective of what you think about them in comparison to Isak, they're a significant upgrade on Jackson.
I think.
But the flanks.
First time in a long time, you know me and Chelsea, but first time in a long time, I'm rating them. I'm rating their signings. Massive overhaul, but it needed to be done.
It's the left side.
Yeah,
left side.
I know you hate Garnacho, and I know every man's looking to dunk on Garnacho. I think he can be effective. That's what I'm gonna say.
Like
I get, yeah.
Martinelli.
I get he's not clever and he's not smart and he's not football intelligence, but I think he will be effective for Chelsea. And Chelsea have had wingers in the past where they're just effective. Do you remember? I'm going back, but you know, Jesper Gronka, remember him?
Yes.
You know, he's very similar, to Garnacho.
He was better than
I think Pedro is going to be one of the signings of the season, and I said it early. I love Pedro, and that's a great signing. I'm gonna, and we've seen about the outgoings, magnificent sellers of players. I'm giving it a 7.5 and 8. The only reason I'm not even going higher is because of the Colwill. You just reminded me. The Colwill injury and not going again for someone like Gay, he would be absolutely perfect. And keeping the likes of Disasi and whatnot, that brings it slightly down. Otherwise, I think it's as good as you can get. There will never be a perfect window.
Yeah, right.
But it's as good as you can get.
Do you know what it is? And I don't know if you agree with this, but like, if you look at the players that they sign, of course, Chelsea model, they go for young up-and-comers, talented players, right? But I feel like where you're going for the title, there needs to be a nice blend of, okay, talented, and he can improve, but like, no, I'm throwing this guy into the deep and he can perform. Buonanotte, I told you, I think I like him. He's a very techie player.
Very good player.
Is he going to be able to come into that team and carry the responsibility that Palmer does? If Palmer's out, Garnacho and Gittins.
That's
your left wing option for the season.
That's the side for me that I'm not happy with.
That's not washing for me.
If you told me Gittins or Garnacho as backups off the bench, and you're getting even a Semenyo, I know you rate Semenyo. Say Chelsea got Semenyo on the left-hand side. Someone that's done it in the Prem now, he's really ready. He's 25 years old, he's ready to go.
Even for Arsenal.
Yeah, and then one of those guys backed him up. Because let's just take Rodrigo out the equation, because maybe it's not realistic or something couldn't happen there. Maybe the player didn't want to move. That would be better balance for me. 100. But you've got two 20 and 21-year-old who you're asking for consistency from at the highest level in 4 comps when you're going for a title, or at least in my opinion, you should be. And then Jackson, and now Delap being out for 2 months is unlucky, but then Guy comes back on loan on the last day from Sunderland, who's not even starting. Jackson goes to Bayern. Financially, that's great, but the manager didn't trust Guy last season, and Guy's 19 years old, should really be in the Championship, in my opinion, playing regular game time. So for me, I'd probably give it a 6.5. I know it's low, but I want to go for the league. And I feel like we've left ourselves with excuses. I feel like we've left ourselves in attack with inconsistent options and a lot of pressure on people that haven't shown yet to be able to deliver.
It's not a title winning squad yet.
Esteval's 18. I don't think he should be under loads of pressure. Pedro Neto, he's not one of the top wingers in this league. We're now asking for him to have a top season. And then if it's basically João Pedro and Palmer for me, and then the rest of the guys are just praying that they are
step up and
step up and deal. I like the centre mid. The centre backs, I'm actually not too fussed about. Obviously, Cole was a massive blow, but I think you just have to trust what you have in that respect because there's a lot of guys there that have had good form in the last few months that you just got to, and then the goalkeeper. Oh my God. This is where...
Oh my days, I even forgot about that. You know what? No, I'm putting it to 6.5.
The goalkeeper.
That was crazy. They didn't address that this summer. Sorry, 6.5.
The goalkeeper.
6.5.
Great selling, great on the finances, some really good players in there, but not maximising for me the opportunity of potentially getting better in some areas. And the goalkeeper situation is, I'm never comfortable because it's... But what do you think, Turkish, with that? 7.
Your outgoings are 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
So that 10 out of 10, I think your incomings are about probably a 4 or 5 out of 10. And that's where it balances out in the middle. I think Delap was a good signing.
So do I.
30 mil. I think he could be a top striker. Pedro, quality. He started good as well. And Hato, a lot's been said about him, good potential and whatnot.
I think that's a sharp signing for them.
Those 3 signings, aside, Gittins, Garnacho. If you went for a Rodrigo, a Leao, something else, even a Semenyo, like you said, then we're talking 8s, 9s.
Yeah.
But yeah, the lack of it has to be 7, and that's outgoing heavy. Because if it's just incoming, it's below average.
I think for where we are, the context of Chelsea are world champs, Chelsea are 4th last season, 3rd best defence, 2nd most chance created, trying to kick on.
Yeah, what's the step up?
And it's also in the context of what you did and what you did. Because if you guys have had terrible windows, our window would look even better because we're catching you.
I hear that.
But because you guys had great windows, in my opinion, in terms of you had better windows incoming, then we haven't done equal to what you've done.
Basically, the way you got to look at it is your target is to have a title-winning or title-challenging squad. Do you believe you have that?
I think we can challenge, but with the incomings, I don't believe it can be sustained all the way to the end.
I think that's where you got to look at the window. And that's the way to rate a window is...
That's literally it.
Yeah, the way to rate the window is how confident are you going with that squad into the season?
I'm less confident over the last week what we've done.
Makes sense then. Just give it 6.5, yeah.
But that's
what we've done.
Yeah, that's it.
They've not helped.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Let's go again with another pick.
Yeah.
Only 2 left, innit?
Liverpool.
Boy.
The transfer window winners, man.
I think...
Or are you?
I think if we got Gahey, we'll be clear winners. Why are you
You're trying to pull that.
No, I'm being honest. See what I'm saying? I'm being honest.
You already
I'm
said
not allowed to be honest.
You already said you were favourites before Isak, and now you're clear favourites after Isak. So now you're going to say because of Gahey, you're not clear winners of the window.
No, it's clear. I think you've had a fantastic window, and I'm not gaslighting you guys. We've discussed Arsenal's window. It's been a strong window, but we've had a fantastic window. I'm not sitting here saying we haven't had a fantastic window. We've addressed situation, but we needed a squad overhaul. And I've been telling you, look, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to spend big bucks. You ain't got money. You ain't got money. I said, I'm telling you, we ain't spent nothing in the last 4 or 5 windows. We got a whole heap of cash.
He actually did say this. He was saying this.
We got a chest.
This summer was your summer. Your fraud watch has been paused.
Redemption arc.
Has been paused for the next couple of months. Paused.
Redemption arc.
We go again next summer.
We needed it, and we started off like a house on fire. Frimpong straight away. Trent, we knew Trent has to be replaced. You can't replace Trent with another Trent. You have to be different. What we've done is brought in 2 fullbacks, pacey, young, athletic, never miss a game. Funny enough, Frimpong's missing right now, but he's got a good track record. And then we brought the jewel in the crown. Apparently, Europe-wise, number 10-wise, one of the best number 10s out there for world record fee. And then the cherry on top with Isak. I think the cherry on top would have been Mark Gahey because of the letting Kwanzaa go and Konate injury situation. But we also bought young Leone as well, centre-back. Arguably or reportedly one of the best young centre-backs in Europe. Reportedly, you know. Everyone talks about him in that high level. So I'm good. It would have been a 10 if we brought in a left winger. it would have been a complete 10. But we didn't replace my boy Lucho. We're relying on Gakpo and a young Rio. Yeah, we're creating a pathway for young Rio. I'm not sure that's wise
Chiesa.
over. And Chiesa, yeah, but we've kept
stayed
Chiesa. That's why we've kept Chiesa, because we couldn't secure that extra attacker. Last season we had 6 attackers, and that's the secret of our success. We were always able to rotate.
Bertz can play on the left.
Who?
Bertz.
First can play on the left, and so can Ekitike apparently. But I don't like. That's like putting Nunes on the left. And remember
Or maybe
the late Jota.
maybe might go.
Remember the late Jota used to play wide left sometimes, and Nunes, and I never liked it. I was never a fan. I'm not a fan of Ekitike going out there as well. But overall, come on, no complaints. I'm calling it straight 9.
And also,
Bang.
I think there's 2 things that add into the mix for Liverpool.
Oh, by the way, we sold well as well.
You sold well.
So Arsenal's is a 9 and Liverpool's is a 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Context-wise.
But you know what?
Context-wise,
We had to do it. Yeah, but we had to do it.
no, but we had to. Okay, forget what you had to do. What about the outgoings? You trumped us completely in the outgoings. So how's our windows both a 9 when your incomings are 500 mil and your outgoings?
I agree.
And count the number of starters as well.
Outgoings are.
Yours has to be higher than this.
The
Verts,
poise lower than it.
Frimpong,
I'm happy.
Kirkes.
They signed 2 world-class. Well,
I tell you why. I tell you why. 'Cause
Theirs has to be higher.
world-class potential
got
in
4
Bertz,
starters.
world-class.
Agreed. I tell you why. Because we didn't address the centre-back situation and we're relying on Joe Gomez and Konrad.
But they didn't address left wing and they're relying on Martinelli.
And
that's fair.
And
That's
we made tuppence
That's
in
fair.
the, in the
Okay, I'll give.
We'll do final scores at the end because I feel like we need to.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
go 9.5. I'm sticking with 9 for Arsenal though. I'll go 9.5.
9.5. I think you have to go 9.5 because you were one sign away from the perfect window.
No problem.
Outgoings, incomings, starters.
Okay,
Big
I agree.
names, big
now
players,
that you've reminded me
ready-made
of the
guys.
outgoings, I'm ready to bump
You made
up.
the second most amount of money in the window.
I agree. So from that aspect, because Harvey Elliott,
And
the
the goalkeeper as well.
And it's not even-
the new keeper, the second choice.
Like you said, you made the second highest in terms of sales, and most importantly as well, I think in addition to the spend, it's who you've spent the money on as well. Liverpool have always been a club where like you're a big name and you can attract players, but like the caliber of players that you've attracted, like that Vertonghen was huge. Like, you know, I know you say huge. That was huge.
Get them
Because
away from Bayern.
That was huge.
City.
To get him away from Bayern, to get him away from City, because I thought he was destined to go to Man City.
Yeah.
Most people were.
And he picks Liverpool. Isak.
I thought
Everyone-
I'm going to be honest with you. I thought
Isak-
Isak's destined for Arsenal.
So
I thought he's destined for Arsenal. I thought that's their
14
That's
Henry.
their Anelka Henry regen.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to get a 9.5 for me. I think what you've done is
I'll accept 9.5 because
ridiculous.
the moment you lot reminded me about the outgoings, I said, yeah.
Nunes.
9.5.
They got Nunes out the door.
Oi,
That's incredible.
brother.
Boy.
Alhamdulillah,
How
we
mad
got
that is.
money.
That makes it an 11.
yeah, I'm giving it 9.5. I think if you had signed Gurhi, and either a left winger or a new midfielder,
Straight 10.
Straight 10. Straight
Straight
10.
10.
Yeah. I think 9.5. So let's just. Have we got any more cards? Oh, we did.
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
one more. Oh, sorry, I was about to wrap up. Okay. Let's go one more
You can
card.
still wrap up, bro. If you want to.
Who's it? Sorry, I thought all the big clubs were done.
Well
Did
done.
you leave the best till last?
The winner.
On purpose?
Sorry.
I left the Europa League winners, 24-25
Dad's getting
season.
awfully tired already, man. Seriously.
Awfully.
The winners.
Pulling it out
The winners.
everywhere,
What did you
man.
win again?
Left, right, and
You
centre.
got tats of.
I do have tats of. Don't worry.
Show me the tats of the trophies you won in the last 5 years.
Why the last 5 years? Why?
Last 5 years, isn't it?
You're 7, right? We were 30-year-old men.
All right, Spurs. I don't know, man. We were talking off air, like our head has been slapped viciously this summer. But I will say this: I actually think this is probably one of the best windows we've had in a long time. I think if you look at our team, we've actually added starting caliber players. Like typically, when we go out in the market, we always sign fillers and try and expect them to just hit crazy heights that, of course, they're never going to meet. But when you look at the players that we've been able to get and the prices that we've been able to pay as well, Kudus, for me, is a quality player. And we've been able to get him for 3 million more than Madueke. We've been able to get him for the same price Newcastle are paying for Elanga, bro. We signed Javi Simmons for 52 million, bro. In this market, that's a snip. That's a snip.
It's not a snip, but...
No, that is a snip.
Okay.
Think about it. Gibbs White was going to cost us £65 million.
But Xavi Simons, Gibbs White is renowned Premier League, not renowned, what's the word?
Premier League proven.
Premier League proven player and more dynamic. Xavi Simons
in world football, who's more?
I know, but we know that sometimes world view for footballers can be skewed just based on European, talent. Gibbs White is a certified Premier League player. When I mean certified Premier League player, I don't mean I'm not saying he's better than Simmons or whatever.
You know what you're getting.
You know what you're getting. Xavi Simons is a wonderful technician. It's a risk, but a lot of Dutch players have not succeeded here, man.
But a lot of Bundesliga players have succeeded here.
And haven't.
And
but I don't think 55 million is a snip.
52 million. I think it is a snip.
I think it's bang on what
price.
you should cost.
I think it's a good price.
I don't think you should cost any more than that. When you get into the 60s, for me, no, it's too much.
But yes, I agree. But unfortunately, this market is crazy.
Okay,
We've just seen Nicholas Jackson go for a potential deal worth £70 million.
I think you've stocked up nicely in midfield. All those players that you've said in the central to attack. Yeah, I don't think you've recruited well up front, and I know we're going to discuss Colomwani. That's fine, and I don't think you've addressed your centre back situation.
So I think
that's the only lacking.
I think if I look at it right, so yeah, Kudus and Simmons, those are two quality signings for Spurs that raise the level. I think Palhinha, whilst I would have preferred a ball playing midfielder, I think that's a quality DM.
It is.
And that's a starter that goes into our team.
But you still need someone long-term, though, because Palhinha is catching up.
Agree, but we're talking about just this window. Palhinha, we got him on loan, and we got him on a very favourable loan for us. We paid, I think, a reasonable loan fee. And if he bangs, which it looks like he probably will because he's played in this league, he's seasoned in this league, Portuguese international, he would cost us £26 million. That's nothing, bro. And then if I look at the front line, yes, we wanted a left winger. I think that's what's let us down because we sold Son. We actually sold Son for pretty decent money, I would think, 20 million. I think with a year left as well. I think Kolo Muani, I know you don't rate him, but I'm looking at that. I think that's a good signing for Tottenham. I think if I look at our front line, we've got a striker now who can actually he can stress defenders. He's got pace. He can score goals. And I looked at his record at Juventus. I think he hit 1 and 2 for Juventus.
I'm not. Look, I want to retract and make a final statement on Kolo Muani before. Oh, you never rated him. I do think there's a player there, 100%. I don't think there's a player in Tel. That's the one I don't rate.
So we'll get on.
But Kolo Muani, I do rate.
Nah.
I just think.
You don't rate Tel.
Muani.
You don't rate Muani?
Or Tel.
You don't rate either.
I rate Muani. I'm not sure how much of an upgrade he is on Solanke and Richarlison as a combination.
But then we have to remember why he was brought in, right? If Solanke doesn't get injured, he doesn't get brought in, and we probably target a left winger. We go all pump, like we put our foot deep on the gas and again to try for Savino or get Lookman.
To be fair, yeah.
I would have taken Lookman is a good player. I would have taken Lookman.
No, but all of us would have looked at
I would have taken Lookman, but we didn't.
Simmons can play left as well, though.
He can play left, but then we're taking someone away from 10.
Yeah, but when your injuries...
Asking Simmons to play left, but then like when you suggested Wirtz to play left. Yeah. Simmons and Wirtz is let them dictate through central.
So for me, I think we should have... The left side is a concern for me because the left side was an issue before a ball was kicked or before a move was made this transfer window. We knew, and we still know, if Mickey van der Ven goes down, we're pissed.
That's what I'm saying.
And we're now relying on Brennan Johnson, Tel, and Odebear. I like Tel, I like Odebear, we've spoken about that, but they're kids.
You should have bought one of those two centre-backs they bought.
They're kids.
Nkepe and...
Well, we did try to go for Nkepe, but I remember I said heads got slapped this summer, unfortunately.
Food chain.
I respect...
No, you're wrong.
Listen, I respect the food chain. I just hope the team that slapped their heads for the food chain better win the league title. That's what I'm saying.
What do you make of their business? Because you're obviously just over the road.
And don't forget, we got Romero signed up on a new long-term deal as well, so that's big. That's big for us.
All I'm hearing is Daniel Levy delivered.
Yeah, all I'm hearing is Josh Concrete.
We're not on Arsenal right now. You missed your chance, mate. All I'm hearing is Daniel Levy delivered. He's got my friend here smiling. Again, a few years ago, shirts were flying over the air. I mean, he smiled a lot because of Levy, but sorry, it's not about owners.
Can I ask a question?
Let him land.
No. I want to ask a question. If Muani and Simmons were available to play in the Super Cup, do you think that would have made a difference?
Well, you did concede 2 late goals.
No, but we conceded 2 late goals, but we took off 2 players who are performing in Richarlison and Kudus, and we brought on.
Don't fall for the Levy bait again because time constraints. Yeah, don't do it.
No, but
Don't do it to
I
yourself.
was interested.
I'm
in that
just
one.
No, man, time
Don't take the
constraint.
bait.
Anyway,
Don't take the bait.
Super Cup.
Don't take the bait.
I mean, Levy got you to the Super Cup. I mean, but we won't talk about that.
too reactive, too slow,
taking the
too
bait
ponderous,
every time.
embarrassing.
Every time
But
he
I'm actually.
You are. You actually are.
I'm pivoting to
Yeah,
outgoings.
talk about your window and how it's ended.
I'm pivoting to outgoings.
Rate your window.
I'm giving our window a 7.
7.
I'm giving our window a 7 out of 10 because I think for the first time, Spurs have actually, for the first time in a long time, Spurs have actually reinforced their starting 11 with starting caliber players that are known quantities. We're not everyone's unknown or this. They're known quantities. Okay, players still need to put a bit more respect on their name. And like Simmons, he needs to do it in England and whatnot. But he's a known quantity in comparison to some of the players that we've signed in the years gone by. I think what's let us down is some of the embarrassment that we've seen this summer, plus the fact that there are some players that we weren't able to get rid of. Obviously, Basuma, he's still at the club. Ben Davies, still at the club. Richarlison, still at the club. We were able to get Solomon out on loan. We were actually able to get money for Bryan Hill, £9 million for Bryan Hill. I didn't see that one coming, so that was big. But yeah, man, I feel like some of those players that we weren't able to ship, plus the left-sided issues for me, you can't do it all in a window. But I do think that that's negligent.
7 is fair.
So for me, 7.
I think 7's quite fair, to be honest, because I do feel like they've brought in very good players. Kudus is a very good player. Simmons is a good player. I actually think Colomwani is an interesting player.
Colleen is.
I'd say
Colleen is a
interesting.
good player.
I'd say interesting.
That was the one that's like.
And also it's Tottenham. They get rejected.
I was literally
That was the
gonna say
confusing
this.
one because it's like we didn't need to
say
go
this.
and make that signing.
Do you know
We
what we're
wanted
talking
to
about?
because it's opportunity.
Do you know, I think Turkish said it like, it depends on what the club you're talking about. And again, I'm not trolling, I'm not disrespecting Tottenham, but you are the least attractive out of all the clubs. Even United, how shit they are, they're more attractive than Spurs, like proven.
Yeah.
All these players that have gone to Man United and obviously the rest. So considering that you're the least most attractive club for players, I think you've had a very good window.
Least most attractive.
You are.
Just say least attractive.
You're the least most attractive because you're the least attractive in the Big Six, but you're most attractive outside the Big Six. Come into the Big Six.
You're bigger than Aston
In terms
Villa,
of you're
still,
bigger than-
maybe Newcastle.
You're the biggest stepping stone club.
Newcastle, would you say?
I mean, 7 years. You're signing a
They're the
7-year
biggest
deal at
stepping
Spurs.
stones of all time.
Would you say Newcastle?
That in a stepping stone to me.
Now let's give them that. They're the big.
We're not
They're in
stepping
the
stone
Champions League more often than
We're
Newcastle.
in a stepping stone
They're the
anymore.
biggest stepping stone club of all
When
time.
was the last outside of Harry Kane? When was the last player we sold to go on to a bigger club?
But they have to perform first, and you obviously finished to 17.
Yeah.
No one wants to buy your players.
But I think, look, taking all things into consideration, I think they've had a good window in terms of how much they can afford in wages and attraction.
All right,
So I
let
think
me wrap this because what I want to do is just quickly incomings, outcomings, and money in terms of good deal, bad deal, right? How do you rank that as a fan? Because we're gonna do this ranking now. Big Six, just 1 to 6, who had the best window with the ratings. So this is just to finalise it and wrap it. What's more important to you as a fan? Is it incomings, outcomings, or how much the player costs, how little they cost, bargains, overpaid, that kind of stuff?
It has to be like
Blend of everything, I
has
know,
to be a
but
blend.
you have to rank it just quickly. Like what's more important to you?
What's more important for me is
Incomings.
incomings,
Yeah, there's
and
no-
it's
there's no
the
debate.
caliber. It's the caliber of incomings.
And then would it be
debate.
outgoings? And then how much it was?
No, incomings, then contracts, and then outgoings. Like,
Price to me is the
I couldn't
least.
care less
I'll
about
go
outgoings
price.
as long
Okay,
as
price
you
is
do what
bottom.
you need to
For
do.
me, anyway, personally,
Incoming highest?
100%.
Okay, and then outgoing. Okay.
Incomings, contracts, outgoings.
So who won this transfer window?
I gave, what did I do?
Liverpool.
I gave City a 6. I've given Chelsea, United, and Tottenham a 7. I've given Arsenal a 8 and Liverpool a 9.5.
So Liverpool are first.
Liverpool first for me.
Everybody agree with
I'll
that?
go with that.
Yep.
I'm not going to deny that. So Liverpool first.
So Liverpool first, and let's just get a
Arsenal
general
second.
9.5. Happy with that?
9.5 for
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Arsenal second.
Definitely.
Yes, defo.
A 9.
Yeah.
8.
I gave him an 8.5.
I gave them a 9.
8. Not enough sales and no left winger.
What did you give them?
And
I was happy with a 9, but we can go
Plus
8.5.
our-
2 9s and 2
Wage
8.5s.
increase.
Well, he got an 8. Yeah.
Oh, 8.5. So I guess around 8.5.
Yeah,
if something
8.5.
like that.
Who's third?
I'd probably say it's between.
Because of the outgoings, you said 10-10. I might bump Chelsea up to a 7. Just because the outgoings were that good.
Yeah, I said 7 for Chelsea, United, and Tottenham. That remains.
I
for
think
me.
I might
then
bring
it's Chelsea
I think-
then.
So then
I think
maybe
I might
Chelsea
bring
because of
United
the
down.
outgoings.
I might
Chelsea
bring United
third.
down a bit. They didn't sell great.
I'll go Chelsea. I'll go Chelsea
third.
I'll go us 4th. I'll go Man City 5th. I'll go Man United 6th.
Okay, I like that. I'll go Chelsea third, Tottenham fourth, very close.
I think it's close between Man City and Man United now. I know Steve's not going to like this, but again,
they've had a better window than United.
I know, but I don't think it's clear cut.
Relative is the context, isn't it?
Context.
Where they were.
Man United out of
I
Europe.
think City bottom for what they are.
context.
Who
But
they
what
have
Man City are trying to do,
Pep's
Man City are
pool.
trying to win the Champions League and win the Premier
Get
League.
back on track.
Straight up, bro.
No superstar.
Nothing less.
Yeah.
No superstar.
Are we doing that business as Champions League? Are we
yeah,
saying is that Champions League and Premier League signings and ready to compete on all four
Yeah.
competitions? I don't think so. If I'm wrong, I'm going to look like an idiot. It won't be the first time. It won't be the last time.
Yeah, Man United fifth, City sixth for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it like that because the context. People won't understand that. The comments will be going mad.
Yeah.
But the context
They're going
is
to go mad.
Four in a row.
City-
4 in a row.
the expectation is the superstar came in. There was no superstar. There was quality players, but no superstar. And yeah,
There's still holes in the team.
And they potentially have sold too many with injuries picking up as well.
and the sales haven't been.
No, there's nothing really there in the sales.
So
They normally make good sales, like
Yeah, they didn't really make
fees and
loads.
whatnot.
I don't really see many players that left. Big money. All right, well, there we are. That's the final ranking.
that's it.
Pleasure. Not bad.
Favorites. Clear.